Hello everyone and welcome back to Rhythm Railroad. This is my update that I've been working on. It's my first one ever since I started the railroad about a year and a half ago. I'm doing it in parts because I can only stick 15 minutes at a time into this video, into this update rather, and so I gotta kind of go quick. In the last 5 parts, I've been talking about everything from the basics of the bench work and the equipment and trackage and all the things that I used, including JMRI and how I set this up for the railroad. And I also walked you through some of the sections. So we started in part 5. I took you kind of this way, and I showed you the yard, which is all of this. I took you around and I showed you the town of Saluda, which is no longer called Saluda. It's just a town. I don't know what I'm going to call it. But let me just walk you through that real quick. This is the yard. It's definitely coming along nicely. This was trackage space that was rented for the coal yard back there for overflow. There's an old coal tower that was there, abandoned. Arrival departure tracks, ladder. Another arrival departure here. This is the main line, and then rip track, the shed for repairs, caboose track over here, train parking, locomotive facility shed or building, fuel and sand here, these 2 tracks, and then yard lead. And the only thing I didn't show you here that I added recently was the lighting. These light posts came out great, and I'll do a night video to show all that later on. But they came out nicely, and I also added lights to these 2 buildings and the tower, and it all looks really nice. The lighting I think I already talked about inside there. You can't see it right now, but there is lighting inside the facility. The only other thing I didn't talk about is that I have a servo inside of this building that is controlled by a tester. Just the same way I use the servos to control the turnouts, I decided to use a tester, which are, these things are like 99 cents. And they're manual, so whatever speed you choose is the speed that the servo arm will move. So what I did is I took this shed door, like the main garage door, I cut it in pieces, and then I was able to control it from the tester like a regular garage door. So it goes up and down just like that, and I can control the speed. It doesn't matter, you know, how fast or slow I go, which is kind of cool because sometimes those things are manual. You're pulling on a chain to open it up and so on and so forth. It's a little crooked at the top, I gotta tweak that, but generally speaking it works pretty well. So that's that. Now taking you back around to where I was in part 5. So the yard exits here, main line connects through here, that one there, which becomes the Y also for turning trains around. And this line that curves around is your reverse loop, so you can go in the opposite direction. Those 2 right there are the main lines. This is what was formerly Saluda, but now it's just a town, like I said before. But it's got all the elements of a town, Main Street and Crossing Street, station, you know, stores and things. And then what I wanted to get to today was this facility, which is your paint facility or paint factory. Started just with that, which is the building that everybody has, the cover all paints. I got to change that sign. And then I decided to kind of blow it up a little bit and make it tremendous. This building obviously is not part of this. This is just a gas station for this road. But the way I see it is, this is going to be a big production. They're going to make the paint, package the paint, you know, every step of the way. I guess it all gets done here. So I'm eventually going to add like flat fake buildings in the back, kind of like this, but you know, all the way through, to make it look like it's a bigger production. But the way I see it is basically this is the building that creates all the mixing, and you know, it's got the big stack for, you know, whatever material or whatever chemicals they're making for the paint. And then this is where all the dry material comes in, you know, so it would be covered hoppers or box cars or, you know, things like that. And then this building is more for liquid material. So any latex or oils or whatever they need to make the paint would get, you know, transferred here. And maybe some more boxcars would go in there. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet, but so that's the main concept. I also put a holding tank back there, which I made out of a PVC cap. I think it's a 2-inch cap. And I think that came out really nice. The platform is just plaster, which I molded from a duct tape roll, like the inside of a roll. And it's a Plastruct staircase. I just clipped the insides of the steps, and it allowed me to curve it and bend it, so I was able to do that. And then I just added some piping and a little catwalk kind of thing on top, and a little ladder there. So yeah, really happy with it. I think it looks pretty cool. I might add like a decal or something just to make it look more realistic. And the inside of this building is detailed. I don't know if you can see in there, but there is a loading platform and staircase, and there's like shelves and things in the back. So kind of cool. And there is lighting in there. You just can't see it right now. I'm destroying my layout as we go. Okay. So what I decided to do here is make the facility split between this road, because I saw that one time and I thought that was really cool how, you know, everything has to come to a halt. And this is a quiet road. It's not going to be, you know, a big deal, but you know, while all the switching's going on, you got gates going down, you got bells ringing, you got all kinds of lockup, which I like in a messed up way. I like making the neighbors upset with the train. So that's the way I decided to design this. So, you know, I just love seeing all the tracks going through the road and the big wide split between the gates and all that. I got this idea from this gentleman that has some really nice HO stuff, and his layout is fantastic. And I think he's also an employee of Norfolk Southern, but he was able to operate his gates using these Lego gear reducers, I think they're called. So I bought some, and I made it like, mine's like a miniature version of that, but I'm still working on it. But this is really a cough drop tin that I painted black. But when you pop it open, it's going to have the crank inside, and that's going to get another tin around it. So that'll be kind of like, you know, to protect it from somebody walking in and clipping it. But basically what happens is this crank, as I turn it either way, opens these gates. So here is what that looks like. Let me see if I can get this. So that's gate number 1. And it's cool because you can go as fast as you want. That was about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spins. So it's, you know, it's pretty cool. And then the other one is back there. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, it's about 5 spins to open them. So it's not like it's going to go shooting, you know, it's more realistic when it goes slow like that. All right, so I have about 5 minutes to kind of show you a little bit of what it would look like if the train came in to do a little switching. Once it starts up, it's going to come through there. And, you know, I'm not going to do the full, I'm not going to do the full operation right now, but I'll switch out a couple of cars for you. One thing that I wanted to show you is more of the servos. So the same thing I used over there, I made like a little panel. You know, eventually that'll be better. But here comes the train now. And you can see the gates went down. So we're arriving. The one thing, you know, and this is kind of like a rookie mistake, but I don't really care, is that theoretically, you know, I should have made more track in the back part before I hit that turnout, because what happens is, this is the main line, so if there's another train coming, I'm blocking the whole layout, the whole, you know, railroad from functioning. So what I did instead is that, you know, I left it alone because I got way too far into it, and I just I make sure that when I classify everything on the yard, that I leave whatever's being delivered in the back. like right by the caboose. So this way I don't, because I only have like that much room to kind of use for trackage. I also don't want to block the road, even though it's being blocked, but I can't get much further than this anyway before the train, you know, hits, before I foul the lineup. So the idea is that I release the caboose here. If I don't break it first. And then I could do all my switching. So I'm just gonna show you one move. First of all, this is the servo thing I was talking about. So you turn it on here, and then each one of those controls all the facility turnouts. So I'm gonna go ahead and go forward a little bit. The gates are going. Okay, then I switch here. You see the turnout switch over. And I'm just going to switch the tank car right now. So I need number 2. Oops. Yeah, number 2 there, number 3 there, and number 4 switched over. I also need somebody to open up the gate, so there goes that. And I'm going to do it kind of on the fast side, even though I don't like to run these trains very fast, because it's not realistic, but just to save some time. Obviously there would be somebody standing on the street with a flag for that. So as we go through, we'll slow down. And couple up, start it up again. So here we go, we're pulling out the empties. Like I said, I'm just gonna go faster because I gotta save some time here. And switch. Put these tanks out of the way for now. This is way too fast, but same. Switch. Way too fast. Definitely breaking some rules here. And I'm gonna wait right before the start. Here's the move. Let's get out of here. Nope. The gates went up. I don't know why, but so that's basically it. And then we basically ask our brakeman to close the gate. Here, I gotta move that up a little bit. Just clipping. Okay, and that's basically it. So that's the operation. I would obviously put my train together again and I'd be on my way. But that's it. So this is part 6. Hopefully I didn't go too long. And I will see you in part 7.